Academy Award winner Brendan Fraser. Better start getting used to saying it, guys. Hey up, guys! So, continuing the Venice Film Festival coverage, today's movie I'm discussing is the highly anticipated film from Darren Aronofsky called The Whale, which is an adaptation of the stage play of the same name by Samuel D. Hunter. Darren Aronofsky is kind of known for giving actors some of their meatiest, career-defining roles. Think Ellen Burstyn in Requiem for a Dream, Mickey Rourke in The Wrestler, Natalie Portman in Black Swan, and Jennifer Lawrence in Mother. So when we found out he was teaming up with much beloved but kind of fizzled from the limelight Brendan Fraser, there was a lot of hype and anticipation thinking that this might be a role that jumpstarts Brendan Fraser's career again, much like it did for Mickey Rourke when he did The Wrestler. Now that I've seen The Whale, I'm here to tell you that the Brendan Fraser renaissance is on. He is spectacular in this film. This is a career best performance from him, and yes, he is definitely a frontrunner for that Best Actor Oscar next year. In The Whale, Brendan Fraser plays a morbidly obese man called Charlie with congestive heart failure who's trying to reconnect with his teenage daughter, Ellie, who's played by Sadie Sink. Charlie walked out on Ellie when she was 8 years old so he could be with his gay lover, Alan. So they have a fractured relationship, and now Ellie has become a angry, bitter, verbally abusive teenager, which she blames on her upbringing from her crappy parents. But over the course of 5 days, Charlie, who is an online English tutor, tries to get through to Ellie by helping her with her homework in hopes that she will see what he sees, the amazing, honest person that she is. So what did I think of The Whale? I found The Whale to be a deeply moving and harrowing watch, which is pretty much my reaction to any Darren Aronofsky film. I gotta say, I was a little bit nervous about this film going into it, given that the subject matter of the film was about a morbidly obese character. Even the title, The Whale, seems a bit precarious in this day and age, so this film could have easily gone the other way. But thanks to Brendan Fraser's sensitive and layered performance, the obesity element isn't done in poor taste or used for a punchline. I mean, there are moments where they do make fun of it. It's there for levity, like when Brendan Fraser's backing up and Hong Chau's friend and nurse character Liz does that beep, beep, beep noise, to add some humor to the situation. There is moments like that, but generally, the obesity is presented for what it is, a disease, and it's done in such an honest approach. Seeing how immobile Charlie is, like simple things like standing up, going to the bathroom, or even bathing himself, they're all a struggle for him. You really do get a sense of how trapped Charlie feels, trapped in the grief of losing his lover Alan, trapped in his body, trapped in his surroundings. Aronofsky employs a very clever visual trick in The Whale, which is that he often frames Charlie into a box, so it feels like he's trapped within the frame. The opening shot of this movie is a shot of a black square on a Zoom chat because Charlie is teaching his online English course. And yeah, it's black because he doesn't want the class to see what he looks like, but also the black represents the darkness that's in his life right now. The film also primarily takes place in just Charlie's apartment, and the set design by Lisa Scopper is very cluttered and cramped. It's dark and dank. Again, it represents how dark Charlie's life is and how boxed in he is. Even the choice to shoot this film in the square 4:3 aspect ratio reiterates to the audience of just how stuck Charlie is. A lot of thought went into how this film was shot and how it looks, and I do appreciate that. Let's talk about the thing that we all came here to see, which is Brendan Fraser's performance. Oh my god. Wow. Brendan Fraser's performance as Charlie is staggeringly good. It's the type of performance that comes around in an actor's career maybe once or twice, and Brendan Fraser grabbed a hold of it and delivers a go-for-broke performance as this wheezing, sweating, very sympathetic man. It's a performance that would have demanded a lot from Fraser, both physically and mentally. And yes, he is in a fat suit, which I'll talk about shortly, but so much of Fraser's heart-wrenching performance is done through his eyes. Because he's buried under a lot of prosthetics and makeup, it actually presents a harder challenge because his performance is quite constricted by what he's got on. But I felt everything that Fraser was emitting through his eyes. His joy, his pain, his self-loathing. I felt so much pathos for him, and that's largely due to his beautifully emotive optic performance. And oh my god, the last 10 minutes, I was blubbering. It was so effective because I just didn't know Brendan Fraser had it in him, and he had me bawling. Brendan Fraser gained 270 kilograms to play this role, but he is wearing a revolutionary new prosthetic fat suit, which gives him his portly appearance. And I have to say, the makeup is extraordinary. Apparently, it was made with a 3D printer, and it really does look fleshy. It's totally convincing. Like, I know he's wearing a fat suit, but never once did I feel like I was taken out the movie because he was wearing a fat suit. So yeah, I'll say this, Fraser's performance is enhanced by the makeup, but he's not using it as a crutch. Fraser is very much in the driver's seat. When we learn what happened to Charlie's lover, Alan, it becomes obvious why he's allowed himself to balloon up so much. He's been using food as a coping mechanism. It's so devastatingly sad to see someone self-destruct because of grief. I was going into this film thinking that The Whale would be like Brendan Fraser's Dallas Buyers Club, you know, a transformative performance which shows off the actor's versatility, and it's a real comeback role like it was for Matthew McConaughey. But really, the performance that it actually reminded me of whilst I was watching it was Nicolas Cage in Leaving Las Vegas. There's a scene towards the end of the film where Charlie starts to engorge all the food that's in his flat, and it's shot a little bit like a horror movie. It's actually kind of hard to watch this sweet, positive man kill himself with food. But yeah, both Nicolas Cage and Brendan Fraser played tragic figures on a path of self-destruction, except one was with booze and the other's doing it with food. But yeah, if Nick Cage can take a performance like that all the way to Oscar's victory, then by all means, Brendan Fraser can do the same. When it comes to the Best Actor conversation, I think Brendan Fraser is a lock for a nomination, but I also think he is the obvious frontrunner this year. The Academy loves a comeback story, hence why I thought Dallas Buyers Club before, so yeah, this could be a real turnaround moment for Brendan Fraser's career. Fraser is also backed up by a very strong supporting cast. A lot of you guys have been asking me online, what did I think of Sadie Sink? Is she gonna get Best Supporting Actress nomination? And I'll say this, Sadie Sink is really good in this, but she's not my favorite supporting performance in this. I actually thought Chau and Samantha Morton gave stronger performances. Sadie Sink's Ellie is kind of one note for the majority of the film's runtime. Like, she's constantly hostile and angry towards other people. It's only in like the last 5 minutes where her performance really crystallizes. But Chau, who plays Charlie's friend and nurse Liz, I found her performance extremely moving. And Samantha Morton shows up for one scene. She plays Charlie's ex-wife, Mary, and it's a small part, but impactful. If we're going to talk about Best Supporting Actress chances, I personally think that Chau has the strongest chance of the three. I'm still not over the fact that she didn't get a nomination for Downsizing. She was the best thing about that film. But the thing that concerns me is that we've got 3 decent supporting actress performances in The Whale, and none of them really shine brighter than the other 2. So they might run the risk of splitting votes and nobody gets nominated for supporting actress. I really hope not, because I really do want to see Chau get a nomination for this performance. But what about you guys? I do want to hear your Oscar predictions for The Whale. Let me know in the comment section down below, okay? As far as negatives go, there were times where it did feel like I was watching a play. Like, some of the dialogue is very melodramatic in that type of theatrical way. Like, there's a point where Mary says to Charlie, "She's evil," in referring to their daughter Ellie. And it's just like, it's a bit overwrought. I can see it working on a stage, but in the movie, it's so melodramatic. I also wasn't a fan of Ty Simpkins' final scene in this. He plays this missionary who's trying to save Charlie's soul, but he gets to a point in this scene where he says that Charlie's homosexuality is disgusting and it's the reason for his unhappiness. And this outburst, it just didn't gel with everything that we've learned about this character in the rest of the film, like earlier on. Like, I get it, yes, he's a missionary, they don't like the gays, but how he just comes out with this, it just didn't feel like we got to that place organically. It's just like, is this just drama for the sake of drama? It just felt a bit out of place. But you know how Darren Aronofsky likes to go off on one when it comes to religion? Before we get to the 3 questions, let's discuss its Oscars chances. I think The Whale has a great shot of winning 2 awards, Best Actor and Hair and Makeup. Those 2 feel like certs to me, but I can see nominations for Best Adapted Screenplay. I could see potential nominations for Best Supporting Actress, but it feels like nobody could get nobody could get a nomination, or somebody could squeeze through. Maybe Hong Chau, maybe Samantha Morton. Gotta see which way the wind blows. I'm not sure about Aronofsky getting a nomination for direction, but I could see The Whale potentially showing up in Best Picture because Best Actor performances, which Brendan Fraser seems a shoo-in for, often do get nominated for Best Picture. There's a very strong correlation between Best Actor and Best Picture, so I can see it getting a Best Picture nomination. I also don't think it's out of the question that we could see a production design nomination. I think Rob Simonson will definitely be at least in the conversation for Best Score. Like, the last few minutes of this, when the music is swelling, oh my god, it makes you weep. So yeah, those are my thoughts on Oscar predictions at the moment. Let me know your Oscar predictions in that comment section below. So let's ask the 3 questions. Firstly, would I watch this again? Yes, absolutely. I really enjoyed The Whale. It made me weep. So yeah, I'm gonna be buying a copy of The Whale, adding it to my collection when I get back home. Question 2, do I recommend it for you guys? I recommend The Whale for anybody out there who has been a fan of Brendan Fraser's work in the past, because this really is a comeback role for him. It's his best performance to date, and you'll just see stuff that you might not have seen Brendan Fraser do before. Like, it's seriously impressive. It's worth checking out just to see what he's capable of. Any film that leaves me in floods of tears, I'm going to recommend to people. So yeah, please go watch it, guys. And third question, what score to give it out of 10? The Whale is a deeply touching chamber piece spearheaded by a phenomenal performance from Brendan Fraser. At times it is a bit melodramatic, a bit theatrical, but when the performances are this good, you're so forgiving of that stuff. So yeah, I had a really good time with The Whale. A few faults, but I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. But as always, guys, it's just one bloke's opinion. I want to hear from you guys. If you've seen The Whale, let me know what you think of it. Is Brendan Fraser coming for that Oscar like Nicolas Cage or Matthew McConaughey? Or is he destined to be like Mickey Rourke, get nominated for his Darren Aronofsky performance, but not quite take home the Oscar? Whatever you have to say, let your voice be heard in that comment section down below. If you guys have enjoyed this video, help me out by hitting that little thumbs up button. If you want more movie, TV, and Oscars related content, don't forget to click subscribe. And if you want to stay up to date with all my Venice and Toronto Film Festival coverage, be sure to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd, TikTok. It's all in that video description down below. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. For more things related to movies, TV, the Oscars, and popcorn culture, I'm Luke Carefield, and I'll see you next time.